TV News Express, Senate orders probe into demolitions in the Federal Capital Territory invites Minister. Independent National Electoral Commission proposes reforms to enhance electoral process. In business, Economic Community of West African States finalizes framework for establishment of a $75 million renewable energy facility. On the foreign scene, U.S. President Joe Biden grants clemency to nearly 1,500 criminals. And in sports, Paris Saint-Germain planned January move for Victor Osimhen. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Iconsat. The Senate has sought an investigation into the recent demolitions in the Federal Capital Territory and has set up an investigative committee to look into the matter. The committee is to invite the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to appear before it to explain the reasons behind the demolitions, which have left many residents without homes. The motion, which was moved by Senator Ireti Kingibe of the Federal Capital Territory Senatorial District, expressed concern over the illegal demolition of structures in the nation's capital and called for immediate stop to further demolitions. The Senate resolved to set up an investigative committee to look into the demolitions and report back to it within a specified time frame. Also, the Senate has issued a warrant of arrest against the managing director of the Julius Berger Nigeria PLC for persistently refusing to appear before its Committee on Works. The resolution followed a motion moved by the Senate Minority Whip, Senator Sita Ungu, PDP Enugu West in Abuja, which was co-sponsored by Senators Asukwo Ekpeyong, APC Cross River South, and Impigi Barinada, PDP Rivers Southeast. Senator Ungu informed the Senate that Julius Berger Nigeria PLC has repeatedly failed to honor invitations from the Senate Committee on Works. The committee had sought explanations regarding project abandonment and the alarming variation of the contract from 54 billion naira to 195 billion naira. Vice President Kashim Shettima presided over the 146th meeting of the National Economic Council at the State House, Abuja. The meeting expected to consider issues ranging from the state's report on state police, and the 2025 fiscal year is arguably the last for the year 2024. The meeting had a reasonable number of governors in attendance, including those of Cross River, Imo, and Gombe, amongst others, while some other states are being represented by their deputy governors. While a number of the states have been proactive in the submission of their budgetary proposals to their state assemblies ahead of the 2025, the federating states and their governors received their presentations from members of President Bola Tinubu's economic team, focusing on issues including the tax reform bill and other economic matters related to the 2025 fiscal year. Meanwhile, UK-born Conservative Party leader Kemi Badenoch has replied Vice President Kashim Shettima over a call to drop her Nigerian name. Badenoch had, during a visit to the United States, described Nigeria as a place where almost everything seemed broken. But the Vice President Kashim Shettima responded during a speech on migration in Abuja, accusing Badenoch of de-Nigerianizing Nigeria. He compared her to former Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, a brilliant young man from India who has never spoken negatively about his ancestral country, urging her to change her first name if she no longer wishes to be identified with her homeland. In a reply to the vice president, a spokesperson for Badenoch said that she stands by what she says and emphasized that she is not Nigeria's public relations representative. The member representing Jos South and East Federal Constituency, Alfred Iliya Ajang, has defected from the Labour Party LP to the All Progressive Congress APC, claiming that the crisis in the Labour Party was the reason for his defection. This was contained in a letter read by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, during plenary. Also, the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in the last election in Bayelsa State, Odengs Eradiri, and his running mate, retired Commodore Benjamin Natus, announced their resignation from the party via a letter to the state chairman of the party in Yenagoa. The General Secretary of the Lagos State Chapter, Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, Folusho Ogunrinde, has criticized the federal government's refusal to compensate landowners without buildings who were displaced by the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project. Folusho, while in a chat with the legal and property expert, described the policy as unconstitutional and unjust, as he noted that denying compensation for land undermines equity and justice. According to him, the 99-year lease system in Nigeria further underscores the value of land as an asset, as this lease is renewable. He further stressed that if governments require compensation for the renewal of a lease or when public use necessitates land acquisition, individuals and private owners deserve similar recognition and compensation for their land when expropriated. The Managing Director and Chief Executive of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Olubunmi Kuku, has said that 80% of emissions from the Murtala Mohammed International Airport emanated from electricity consumption. Olubunmi Kuku stated this during a stakeholder engagement on carbon emission management, which brought together stakeholders in aviation, including airline operators, fuel suppliers, and Courtney Aviation Service Limited, among others. Represented by the Director of Special Duties, Henry Agbebire, the MD emphasized that aviation industry is highly sensitive to bad weather and climate change, noting that aviation business was at risk without stakeholders taking collaborative efforts on carbon emissions. The authority is, however, galvanizing airport stakeholders across the country to deepen collaboration towards reducing carbon emissions, especially at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. The Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, has assured that the Commission will soon complete the 2-kilometer double-lane Ka-Ataba Road with 2 bridges in the Kana and Adoni local government area of Rivers State. Ogbuku gave assurance during an inspection of a 1.2-kilometer long bridge on the road, accompanied by the NDDC Executive Director of Projects, Victor Atai, and other directors of the Commission. In a statement issued in Port Harcourt by the Director of Corporate Affairs, NDDC, Selidi Thompson Wakama, Ogbuku stated that the project is about 70% done and is ready to be completed by the middle of next year. Wife of the Abia State Governor, Priscilla Oti, has called on all stakeholders to unite against violence and injustice that affect women and girls in the society. Oti made the call during a summit to mark the end of the year 2024, 16 days of activism against gender-based violence held in Umuahia. the state capital. She stated that the fight against gender-based violence is not one that any individual or organization can win alone, as she revealed that the state government is not relenting in the fight against gender-based violence. She further noted that the state government has inaugurated the GBV response team and the GBV management committee to bring together key stakeholders in order to ensure a coordinated response to gender-based violence cases. In a move to address challenges faced by displaced persons, the National Agricultural Land Development Authority and the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons have signed a Memorandum of Understanding for the Renewed Hope Restoration Project. The event at the National Assembly Library and Resource Center was a collaboration under the President Bola Tinubu's Renewed Hope to restore livelihoods and empower displaced communities. Executive Secretary of NAUDA, Colinius Adebayo, described the agreement as more than a legal instrument. He said it was a declaration to tackle hardship faced by refugees, migrants, and IDPs. Chairmen of the 25 local government councils in Delta State have been charged to set up task forces as required by the 2021 Delta State Livestock Breeding, Rearing and Marketing Regulation Law for its effective implementation. Executive Assistant to the Delta State Governor on Public Enlightenment Projects and Policies, Olisa Ifejaka, gave the charge at a one-day sensitization assembly on the anti-open grazing law for the people of Ika Federal Constituency held at Agbo. He said the law needed to be implemented, hence the need to enlighten the people on the importance of the law, and stressed the need of Livestock Management Committee of the state and local government task force to synergize in ensuring that violators of the law faced consequences of their actions. Ifejaka deployed the incessant clashes between herders and farmers and assured that implementation of the law would stem the disturbing trend. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has proposed reforms to improve the country's electoral system following lessons learned from the 2023 general elections and subsequent off-cycle polls. The Commission stated this at the meeting with resident electoral commissioners in Abuja, confirming it will soon present its legislative proposals to the relevant committees in the Senate and House of Representatives. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu outlined the Commission's vision to address long-standing challenges and modernize election management. He said ahead of the future elections, the Commission recommended using computer-generated voting slips for those without permanent voters' cards, as he stressed that PVCs should no longer be the sole requirement for voting, especially with the introduction of the Bimodal Voter Accreditation System, BVAS. The Nigerian Navy Oguta Naval Base has pledged tight security for the people of Iziosu community in Oguta local government area of Imo State during the upcoming Yuletide season. This assurance was given during a free medical outreach organized by the Navy in line with the Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala's ambition to promote the health and well-being of residents. Correspondent Amarachi Ibe was there for Global Television.
In his address during the free medical checkup, the commanding officer of the Oguta Naval Base, Commando M.B. Sanusi, represented by the executive officer of the Oguta Naval Base, Commander Okeme Anthony, assured residents of the Navy's readiness to safeguard lives and property during the festive season.
This was aimed at fostering a better civil-military relations. Naval Base Oguta is really impressed with the turnout. We had over 300 persons for this medical outreach. But we are sure the good people of Eziosu community that they will be safe. The Naval Base Oguta would ensure constant presence around here to make the season very enjoyable and peaceful and secured for them all.
The Navy's free medical outreach exercise provides a range of services, including blood pressure and blood sugar checks, consultations, distributions of essential medications and insecticide-treated nets. Many beneficiaries expressed gratitude.
I am very happy for the arrival of the mobiles for general treatment for our children and for the old.
I am very much excited because this is the first of its kind. Since 50 years ago or thereabouts, I've been in this community. I've never seen this kind of gesture.
Students from Eziosu Community School also benefited from the outreach, receiving sanitary pads, body spray and writing materials to support their hygiene and education.
The free medical checkup, everything that they have done, I pray that the Lord Almighty will replenish all the finances which they have used in coordinating this program. I pray that the Lord will replenish.
By the Navy's in our community, it's a free giving day of medications and other gifts for students. I'm very much happy to receive a gift from them, and here is my gift. I appreciate our efforts so much.
As the UTAD season approaches, the Nigerian Navy's proactive efforts in Eziosu and its environs highlights their commitment to ensuring a safe, healthy, and joyful celebration for all. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, Economic Community of West African States finalizes framework for establishment of $75 million renewable energy facility. Details of these as well as foreign and sports stories coming right after the break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. In business, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has finalized the framework for the establishment of a $75 million ECOWAS renewable energy and energy efficiency facility. The president of ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Aliyu Omar Toure, made the disclosure at the opening of the 93rd ordinary session of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers holding in Abuja. ECOWAS said it would need about $19 billion investment towards improving storage facilities, mining initiatives, and enhancing mechanization in paddy production. Toure also commended the ongoing work on the Nigerian-Morocco gas pipeline project as part of some of the integrated projects for the community. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's initiative on alternative energy source has attracted over $1 billion in direct foreign investment to the Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority, Liberty, in the last 17 months. The Chief Executive Officer of the OGFZA, Bamanga Jada, disclosed this at a sensitization program on the CNG infrastructural development at the Onne Oil and Gas Free Zone in Port Harcourt. This was just as the key stakeholders in the transportation, environmental and oil and gas sectors have said the compressed natural gas initiative of President Tinubu is one of the major drivers of industrialization. On the foreign scene, outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden has said that he had commuted the sentences of nearly 1,500 criminals and pardoned 39 others convicted of non-violent crimes in what the White House called the largest single-day act of clemency in U.S. The White House said that nearly 1,500 people granted commuted sentences, the most ever in a single day, had been serving them at home for at least 1 year. Biden said America was built on the promise of possibility and second chances, adding that as president, he has the great privilege of extending mercy to people who have demonstrated remorse and rehabilitation. Biden this month faced criticism for issuing an official pardon for his son, Hunter, who was facing sentencing for 2 criminal cases, despite earlier assurances that he would not intervene in his son's legal troubles. Syria's new government have thanked 8 countries for swiftly reopening their diplomatic missions after a lightning rebel offensive ousted President Bashar al-Assad at the weekend. The offensive, which took just 10 days to sweep across Syria and take the capital Damascus, stunned the world and brought an end to more than half a century of brutal rule by the Assad clan. The rebels, led by Islamic group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, appointed an interim prime minister to lead the country until March, and the new government's Department of Political Affairs issued a statement thanking Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Bahrain, Oman, and Italy for resuming the activities of their diplomatic missions in Damascus. And running to the exciting world of sport, the Swedish Prosecution Authority has announced that the inquiry into rape allegations against French footballer Kylian Mbappe has been closed due to a lack of sufficient evidence to proceed. This is according to multiple reports, as the allegations had drawn international attention, casting a shadow over the football star's career. Reports say Mbappe, who has consistently denied the allegations, has yet to make an official statement regarding the decision. His legal team had previously emphasized his commitment to due process. Paris Saint-Germain will move again for Victor Osimhen when the transfer window reopens in January. The Ligue 1 champions were linked with a move for the Nigerian international in the summer, but the player instead joined Turkish Super League champions Galatasaray on a season-long deal. The loan deal includes a 75 million euros clause valid for January, and any club interested in the forward next month would need to add an extra fee to free him from Galatasaray. The Nigerian international, who has scored 10 goals and provided 5 assists in 13 appearances across all competitions for Galatasaray, is currently recuperating from a muscle injury. To end Global TV News Express, here is a recap of our top stories. The Senate has sought an investigation into the recent demolitions in the Federal Capital Territory and has set up an investigative committee to look into the matter. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has proposed reforms to improve the country's electoral system following lessons learned from the 2023 general elections and subsequent off-cycle polls. In business, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has finalized the framework for establishment of a $75 million ECOWAS Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Facility. On the foreign scene, outgoing U.S. President Joe Biden has said that he had commuted the sentences of nearly 1,500 criminals and pardoned 39 others convicted of non-violent crimes in what the White House called the largest single-day act of clemency in U.S. history. And in sports, Paris Saint-Germain will move again for Victor Osimhen when the transfer window reopens in January. That's it on News Express, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276 and free to air on Nikonsat. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTV NG. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching.